Hi dear students, welcome to Gallant IAS. I am Justin. So UPSC Mains 2022 essay paper is over. GS1, GS2, GS3 and GS4 is over. Okay. Now we will have an analysis on these GS papers one by one, starting with the GS1. So continue watching this series, you will get an overall idea, the pattern, the trend analysis of these GS papers of 2022, which will help you a lot for your 2023-2024 preparation. Okay, understanding the trend is very important as far as clearing this civil service examination mains is concerned. Okay, so GS1. Before starting this GS1 of course, like it was not a tough paper, of course. It is mostly sticking on to the syllabus demand, mostly the questions being asked from the syllabus of GS1. That is the beauty of UPSC. Now, coming to, this is not like alien questions being asked here. Okay, most of the topics are from the GS1 syllabus only. Now, in GS1, you know that what is there in this GS1? GS1, what you have to study, of course, there is history, Indian history and world history, then there is art and culture, there is geography, and there is society. There is society. This is what what the basic components or the main elements of GS1. This is what you have to study in GS1. So as usual, every GS1 papers, they carry 250 marks each. Be it essay paper, be it GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, optional paper 1, optional paper 2, each carries 250 marks. Okay. So here, coming to mains examination, please try to understand. Yes, there are essay paper. This understanding is very important. Especially those appearing for 2023, 2024, 2025, etc. Please try to understand. You have an essay paper which carries 250 marks. There is General Studies paper 1, General Studies paper 2, General Studies paper 3, General Studies paper 4. Each carries 250 marks. Each carries 250 marks. Okay. Then there is optional. There is optional subjects. UPSC has lots of optionals. Whatever your optional, you will have two paper 1 and paper 2. Each carries 250. Each carries 250 marks. Now, in addition to this, you will have qualifying papers. Qualifying papers, of course, there is one English, compulsory English paper is there, and one regional language which you choose. But qualifying papers, as its name suggests, it's just qualifying. These are the merit papers. Okay, your marks will be calculated as per your score in essay, GS 1, 2, 3, 4 plus your optional. Now coming to GS1, some instructions are given, and understanding these instructions, that is very much essential because many aspirants ignore this part. See, what are the instructions given in GS1 paper? Yes. The paper carries 250 marks. Every GS paper carries 250 marks. Time duration is 3 hours. So you have to practice in such a way that the 10 marker questions and 15 marker questions you have to divide in such a way you finish all the 20 questions in 3 hours. Okay. So see, only you get to 3 hours, you will have 20 questions. Some 10 questions, 10 questions are 10 marker questions and next 10 questions are 15 marker questions. So this time management, understanding time duration will help you to fix time for 10 marker questions and fix time for this 15 marker questions. So see, 250 marks, time duration 3 hours, total 20 questions are there. Total 20 questions are there. Questions printed in the answer this question answer booklet. Try to understand that these 20 questions are printed only in English and Hindi, not in any regional languages. Questions given in English and Hindi, and the answers you written, of course, the medium you chosen, you can write in that particular language. See here, the questions are only in English and Hindi. Now all the questions are compulsory. This is also very important. Please don't think that yes, like optional you have choices here. In GS papers no choices are there. all the 20 questions printed, you know, you have to attempt all the 20 questions. You have to attempt all the 20 questions if you wish to score in a decent way in GS papers. And attempting the questions, you know, as per demand of the questions. The number of the marks, you know, carried by each question, it is printed against it. Usually, the first 10 questions are 10 marker questions. Next 10 questions, I mean from question number 11 to 20 will be 15 marker each. Okay. So, that marks is indicated. Answers must be written in the medium authorized in the admission certificate. That you please take care. Then, no marks will be given. No marks will be given for answers written in a medium other than the authorized one. Answers to the questions number 1 to 10 should be in 150 words. 150 words means usually 10 marker questions, you know, 10 marker questions you must write in 150 words. That means 2 pages. 15 marker questions you must write in 250 words. That means 3 pages. This is 2 pages and this is 3 pages usually. Okay. So 10 markers are in 150 words, 15 markers are in 250 words. Now, yes, keep the word limit indicated in the question. Okay, so please take care, stick on to that word limit. If you are writing 150, instead of 150 you are writing 250 for 150. Yes, that is just waste of time and it will not help you to enhance your marks. Okay, so stick on to that word limit. Any page or portion of the page left blank, that must be struck off. That also please take care. Content of the answer more important than, so content is the king rather than the length of answer. These things must be very clear in your mind before going to attempt these questions. Okay. Now let's have a look into these questions, then we will go for analysis. Okay. Just look into the questions. 1 to 20 questions are there. The first question, how will you explain the medieval Indian temple architecture? Yes, how will you explain the medieval Indian temple architecture represented the social life of those days? So, you are not supposed to write about only the medieval Indian temple architecture or temple sculptures, medieval Indian temple sculptures. See, read the question very carefully and please try to focus on the keywords given in the question. That is very important. You are not supposed to write on these medieval Indian temple sculptures, what the question is asking about. Yes, how will you explain medieval Indian temple sculptures represent social life of those days? So, you have to say how this social life of those medieval days is represented by these medieval Indian temple sculptures. You study on various like temple sculptures, temple styles, Nagara, Dravida, Varsara styles of temple and regional styles of temple architecture, and they have these sculptural works. Okay, how these medieval Indian sculptures represent the social life of those days. This is actually the question. Okay. Now, why did armies of British East India Company, mostly comprising Indian soldiers, win consistently against the more numerous and better equipped armies of the then Indian rulers? So, why these Indian rulers being defeated? We have seen there is Plassey, there is Buxar, there is Carnatic wars, Anglo-Maratha or Anglo-Sikh wars are there. So many wars British fought here. So, why do you think these armies of the British East India Company, mostly comprising that of the Indian soldiers, they consistently win against these numerous, they win against these Indian rulers. So, you have to talk on, you have to discuss on these various like failures, flaws and defects of Indian rulers, their strategies or their military strategies, or maybe what all the failures and flaws of these like Indian rulers, why this British East India Company's army, mostly comprising Indian soldiers, why they consistently win against Indian rulers. Okay, you have to, on various dimensions, you have to discuss on the reasons for the failure of these Indian rulers. Okay. Then there is, why was there a sudden spurt in famines in colonial India since the mid-18th century? So, you just see the colonial economy, how this British turned Indian economy into like an enslaved one, okay, a subordinated economy, how these Indian resources being very organized, very systematically plundered by these colonial masters, okay. So, how these famines, continuous sequel of famines that was man-made, or it was not any because of any natural calamities. You go for the reasons behind these continuous famines in colonial India since the mid of the 18th century. Okay, so go for it. Give reasons. The question is asking for give reasons. Many reasons, political, economic, social, many reasons, different reasons. Okay, you try to cover all those reasons. Now describe the characteristics and types of primary rocks. Discuss the meaning of the color-coded weather warnings for cyclone-prone areas by IMD. Discuss the natural resource potentials of Deccan Trap. Examine the potentials of wind energy in India. Explain the reasons for the limited spatial spread. Explore and evaluate impact of work from home on family relationships. So here again, geography, if you see, climatology, geography, if you see, you could see that most of the questions are straightforward questions. Okay. Now see, explore and evaluate impact of work from home on family relationships. It's mostly kind of a, yeah, you can connect with the society and more or less a current affair oriented question. How is the growth of tier 2 cities related to the rise of new middle class with emphasis on culture of consumption? Given the diversities among the tribal communities in India, in which a specific context should there be considered a single category? So coming to society also, you can see that the questions are answerable from what the static and current affairs you studied from the society syllabus. Then question number 11, political administrative reorganization of the states and territories has been continuous ongoing process since the mid 18th century AD. Give examples. So you start with the pre-independent India, then transition goes to post-independent India. This reorganization, political administrative reorganization of the states and territories, yes, that was a continuous ongoing process since the mid of the 19th century. Since the mid of the 19th century, and you have to continue till that post-independence. Am I right? Okay, even you can connect with the current examples. Discuss the main contributions of Gupta Chola era to Indian heritage and culture. That's again very important. Gupta is regarded as the golden age. Okay, to Indian art and culture or Indian culture and heritage, their contributions. Cholas and Gupta's contributions. Significance of the lion bull figures in Indian mythology, art and architecture. Again, straightforward question. Forces that influence ocean currents. Describe the distribution of rubber producing countries, major environmental issues faced by them. Mention significance of straits and isthmus in international trade. Troposphere is very significant atmospheric layer, determines weather process. Analyze salience of sect in Indian society. Yes, caste to region, religion. Tolerance, assimilation, pluralism, key elements in the making of Indian form of secularism. Relationship between globalization, new technology in a world of scarce resources with a special reference to India. Finally, there is human geography. So if you check all the 20 questions, the questions if you have done justice to the syllabus of GS1, be history, culture, geography or society, these questions are answerable, okay, decently answerable. Now this, here I wish to show you the major, I mean, how the topics being asked, what kind of the topics being asked in GS1 based on the 20 questions. We just discussed 20 questions and see the questions. You see the topics of the questions. The first question, which was on medieval Indian temples, cultures and social life. So the temple architecture is important. Temple art and architecture is important for you. That is ancient or medieval architecture, temple architecture. Temple architecture, its art forms are important for you, and their relevance, their social relevance, or maybe their cultural relevance, their economic relevance, you know, their ideological relevance, their symbolism, all those concepts you have to study along with that. Indian soldiers in British East India Company and armies of Indian rulers, the reasons for Indian rulers' failure, their flaws, major flaws, okay. Then see sudden spurt in famines in colonial India since mid of 18th century. Basic reasons for that. Reasons are not just economic, but you have to cover other dimensions, other angles too. Then see characteristics and types of primary rocks, color-coded weather warnings for cyclone-prone areas by IMD, natural resource potentials of this Deccan Trap, potential of this wind energy in India and limited spread, impact of work from home on family relationships, growth of tier 2 cities in the rising of new middle class, tribal communities, diversities, whether they consider to be a single category, political administrative reorganization of states and territories from mid 19th century, contributions of Gupta Chola era to heritage and culture, significance of lion and bull figures in Indian mythology, art, architecture, forces influencing ocean currents and the fishing industry, Major rubber producing countries and environmental issues faced by them. Yes, significance of the straits and isthmus in this international trade. Significance of troposphere in weather process. Salience of the sect in Indian society. A role of tolerance, assimilation, pluralism in Indian secularism. Relationship between globalization and new technology in a world of scarce resources. So let me tell you, this is what actually the topics being covered in the 20 questions of GS1. And let me tell you, if you have done, again I'm telling you, if you have done justice to GS syllabus, yes, all these questions are answerable. Actually, GS1 is mostly, it's a more or less, it's a static subject. But still, you have to cover the current affair areas related to that. Society has lots of dynamism. Society has lots of dynamic areas which you have to cover. So actually, this paper is like a, there is history, there is culture, there is geography, and there is society. And give equal weightage. I mean, it should not be like that you studied history and culture, you studied geography, you ignored society. It should not be like that. Society, even if here you check, you can notice that this paper is having more weightage to geography. A good number of questions being asked from geography. Okay, good number of questions being asked from geography. Okay, but again, you can see from society something around 60 to 70 marks or 75 marks being asked from society. Similar way, if you check history and culture, if you check this history and culture, yes, around again here 60 to 75 marks, okay, being asked. This time world history is missing, but it doesn't mean that history is an area to be ignored. History can be asked in GS2 also. Sometimes it can be clubbed with the polity, governance, constitution, or sometimes the world history questions can be connected with this what is called international relations, or history can be connected with the social justice, history can be connected with GS3, history can be connected with ethics also, the thinkers, contributors, philosophers part. So what I said is like give equal weightage. Okay, give equal weightage, and UPSC always give some surprise elements, okay, in every year. But what you have to do is like you cover the syllabus in a decent way, so that even if the questions come from world history, post-independence, any areas, you should be in a position to answer. Okay, so this is something the paper GS1 is all about, and it was not such a tough paper, but still it is a good paper. It is a good paper if you have done justice to the syllabus. If you have covered the syllabus, definitely almost all these questions are answerable. So moving on to our GS2 analysis, we will have discussion on GS2, GS3 and GS4. Thank you.